Hi everybody, this is Kiana and Miko from LibraLunaCenter.com, and we are here to discuss the summer solstice of 2017 beginning June 21st. So today, when we are recording this, it is June 20th. The sun is in the final stages of Gemini, and so
get off your phone! We're doing a video. What are you doing?
No.
So hot. Yeah, and so that's a metaphor for what this entire summer solstice is about, right?
Yeah.
Because we have this upcoming summer. We have the new moon in Cancer to start it off. We have the full moon in Capricorn, which will be one of the most powerful full moons of the year because it will be conjuncting Pluto. Then we have a new moon in 0 degrees of Leo. Then we have a full moon, I believe a penumbral lunar eclipse in Aquarius. Then we have another new moon in Leo, 28 degrees, right on the fixed star of Regulus. It will be a total solar eclipse.
A lot going on.
Yes. Then
I believe we have a full moon in Virgo?
or Pisces
At the end of the month?
after the new moon in Leo.
I
forgot,
remember.
but
I remember. That's too far in advance.
Yes. Full moon in Pisces, I believe, and then a new moon in Virgo. And this is the entire cycle of the summer solstice, right? So, to begin with, we have on the day of the summer solstice, we have a superior conjunction between Mercury and the Sun in Cancer, 0 degrees Cancer. And this is the integration between our hearts and our minds, between our feelings, our emotions, right? And our mental perception of reality. And Mercury ruling the processes of the mind, catching up to the Sun, means that our minds are catching up to life. And so
I am burning up. I am so hot. Yes, in Sacramento. Oh my God. In Sacramento today, it's literally 1,000 degrees. It's like all week it's been, the highest it's been is 112 degrees. And today it's 104. And it's so hot. The only way it's going to cool off is when it gets to mid-90s. Right. So next week. But Sacramento isn't a very fun place to be right now. But since we're here, I'm seeing it as a metaphor for this entire cycle. Yeah. And
It's intense.
as we have this burst of emotional understanding of what we truly feel, what we truly want to create from our imagination, right? I'm so hot. At the same time, there will be a T-square between the Sun and Mercury on the 1st degree of Cancer, opposing Saturn retrograde. Both of these aspects making a square to Chiron. And Saturn is conjuncting Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. So with this cultivation of self, there is also...
I'm so high, I can't even concentrate. I'm so hot. I'm just melting away over here.
With this cultivation and culmination of self, there is also the breaking away from the past.
Yes,
right?
it's intense.
This year, this entire year, and as we are in the middle of the year, as we are beginning the summer solstice, right? This is the focalization of the entire year of 2017. And so, with this year being the year of the fire rooster, the number 1 year in numerology. All of this happening at the same time with the North Node in Leo. There is
There's a bluebird. Oh, how cute.
We got distracted. Classical Gemini ADHD. But, what was I saying? It's so hot.
It is so
I can't
hot.
concentrate. But
So you were talking about the Leo, North Node,
yes.
Cancer Moon.
No, I was not talking
No.
about that. I was talking about how this summer is the culmination of this entire 2017 because we have so much fire going on this year. And this is the most fiery part of the year.
Yeah.
And so, with the fire rooster in Chinese astrology, this being the year of the fire rooster, it's a wake-up call, right? You know how the rooster in the morning calls you, you know, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Or something, you know, it wakes you up.
It's time
But
to wake the fuck
At
up.
the same time as that happens, you don't just immediately just wake up, you know?
Yeah.
Only early birds do that. And early birds are the people who have already been on this evolutionary journey for a long time,
Right.
who have been awake and living consciously, intuitively for a long time. Those are the early birds who are receiving the message and jumping out of bed fully awake and fully ready for the day, right? But most of us, the masses, are going through this collective waking up process, and we're having, in the beginning, a groggy phase.
Yup. What's
This
going on?
groggy phase began during the spring equinox. It was the burst of energy that occurred when the sun went into Aries, right? The burst of energy was ephemeral. It was pure fire. It was pure initiative and willpower to cultivate this new personality, this new way of being, this new lifestyle, right? But it was an idea. It was a seed. And it was the call to action, but it was not.
Anything set in stone?
No.
No.
So, everything has been up in the air for the past 3 months, right? Everything has been going up and down. You stop, you start, you go, you know, are pushed off track all the time for the past 3 months. And you've been forced to, you know how, speaking of birds, a mother bird pushes
Oh, yeah.
its baby birds out of the nest, and the baby bird has to learn to fly right then and there. Find its wings, find its power. And this is what the spring equinox has been about. There's bugs. Can't breathe.
Right. So
You
hot.
have oranges out, they're being attracted. And so with this summer solstice, with
You can contribute, you know. But anyways, I'm listening. yeah, Mom.
okay, so with the sun in Cancer, right? This is bringing organic life to the spiritual process that occurred during the spring equinox. This is bringing what was an idea, what was an urge, what was an impulse, what was a seed idea, right? To earth, to reality, nurturing the dream, bringing it into manifestation. Because Cancer is a cardinal sign, and it is focused in a single point of direction, and that single point of direction is within, is to the home, is to the soul.
Your emotional body.
Yes. And the way it does that is it gathers everything around it that it claims is its own, right? It claims is its shell, claims is its dreams. And it builds a home out of it. So this is what we are doing now. And with it conjuncting Mercury, this is bringing what has only been a dream, what has only been a mental perception, and aligning it with our emotional bodies, with our hearts, centers, and receiving emotional, intuitive clarity for the very first time about what is truly our home.
Yeah, it's really about taking responsibility about where you're at. It's about taking responsibility for where you're at. I feel like we've been kind of like living in this elusive reality, and there's a lot of things that we're having to kind of take responsibility for as far as what we have created. And I feel like a lot of that Saturn energy that is also infiltrated is concretizing that as well. So hot.
Yes. And a lot of this has to do, because it's easy to say, just go out there and create what you've always wanted to create, right? Because now you have the courage to be able to do it. But on the flip end of that, right? What happens when we wake up is we're still plagued by the dream that we were in before we woke up.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you first wake up, right?
Yes.
And you're just coming out of that dream state, and you're like foggy. It is like literally foggy. You're like, okay, well, what's going on?
Especially now with Neptune retrograde throughout this entire summer solstice. And we're kind of forced to find our own spiritual voice within ourselves versus waiting for it to be delivered to us through some type of message, through some type of, outside spiritual guidance.
Yeah, we're reconnecting. Neptune retrograde, we're
Connecting with that. We're reconnecting. You can't hear me? We are down here. Well, we're sharing the microphone.
Neptune retrograde, I feel, is about us reconnecting with that soul essence, whatever we define as divinity, whatever your spiritual walk is. So just reconnecting with that and learning how to trust what comes in. Mercury's involved here, so I think it's like it's almost like a matter of heart over mind over heart, or something kind of.
Yes,
kind of a
and
thing.
it's the integration between the two, because we've lived so long, and Gemini was emphasizing this, right? We've lived so long as one twin or the other, and as a rebellion against that, sometimes we also lie in between them, right? Not an integration of them, but on the fence between the two, right? Like you can't decide between whether you want to live in the light or the dark, whether you want to live by your heart or your mind. And the point is not to discard any of them,
Exactly.
because they are all relevant to your experience here. And the point is to integrate them together, because that is what makes you a holistic being. That is where you are able to manifest from your point of power, is the integration of the heart and mind.
So with that,
And it being in opposition to Saturn and Black Moon Lilith.
yeah.
It is opposing everything you've known.
Yes.
It is opposing everything that has held you back, all your perceived limitations about who and what you are, right? What you believe yourself to be, what you've always believed yourself to be, what you've always believed yourself to be capable of. And it's not just about you, right? Because every wound, every facet of suffering is derived from the collective. It's derived from
the collective unconscious.
The collective unconscious, but also ancestral wounds.
Which where it all stems from, right? Because we're all kind of connected to the ancestral wounds cellularly. So we are definitely feeling that.
Yes.
Definitely feeling that on a cellular level.
And with it also in square to Chiron.
Wounds.
This being a waxing square means that we are forced to develop according to our own agenda. We are forced to grow up as we're falling, right? Forced to fly, figure out how to fly as we're falling. And so
that bird syndrome, that's what you're talking about? The baby
bird syndrome.
Yeah,
the cycle.
Yeah, pushing the baby bird off out of the nest. That's what we're doing. We're being pushed off
because this is the
only
way. This is the only way that you can build anything that you want to create, right? Because if you try to build your dreams on the foundation of the past, the nest, right, that you've always been enclosed in, it's going to turn up the same exact way as it's always been.
Yeah. Nothing's going to change.
Because you're using the materials that were never your own.
To begin with, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And with that weight on you, the summer solstice cannot be used to its fullest possibilities, right? You have to have the courage to leap off the nest yourself, leap out of the nest, and learn to fly improv on your way down.
Just make it fun. It's the fool's journey that we're diving into right now.
None of us can breathe.
It's so hot. Yeah.
Okay, so the moon is very important during this time because it's in Cancer, obviously. So the moon on the summer solstice, it will begin in Taurus and it will be in square to the nodal axis. And the moon in Taurus will be on the, I believe the Pleiadian star system.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. So,
adding that in there?
In square to the nodal axis. This entire summer is building our light body, is building our foundation as a light body. As we have built the personality throughout the spring equinox cycle, now we are creating from our personality. Now it is about reaping the fruits of who we are by creating from ourselves out into the world. And this is all about what you really love. This is all about what you truly value. This is all about the substance of your soul.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
Really good stuff.
Hello.
Hi. So, it's going to be an interesting summer. Lots of work to do.
And the work is in your emotions. It is in your feelings. It is driven by your inner world. So it's not about just achieving something to achieve something, because yes, there is a grand fire trine in the sky as this is happening, right? So it can feel like you can create anything, and that is true. You can create anything throughout this entire summer solstice. You can choose to, right? But it's not just about creating anything, right? It's about creating from the depths of your emotional center, creating from the depths of your soul potential, your soul's calling, as this is the fire rooster, right? You don't create from the dream, you create from the point of awakening. And you create as a solid individual, a reborn individual, a Christ child within your own self. The number 1 year in numerology, right? This 2016, the 2016 cycle, the number 9 year. was clearing out everything. And the first few months of 2017 has been the continuation of that, right? And during the spring equinox of 2017, we got a taste of the future. But the future was ephemeral. The future was far off. You know, I see it, but at the same time, I'm realizing that I'm needing to change so much in myself and in my outer reality to match up to that, right?
Very good, yeah.
But now, during the summer solstice, as we have changed, now we can change our life.
We're moving forward.
Yes.
We've created the vision. And see it?
Cancer is the direction. Cancer is the focus. And the focus is the soul. Focus is the home. Leo will be the focalization of this energy. It will be the concentration of it. So what we're feeling now and what we will be feeling throughout, towards the end of June, all throughout July, during the Cancer season, will be this intensification of focus, right? On the direction of our souls. Ants are huge.
I know.
But
enormous. Don't let them get on you.
Yeah. I just saw them, so now I'm freaking out. And Leo will be the concentration of the Cancer season. And so this will be us at our fullest power, right? Hopefully, if we're waking up, if we're choosing to wake up instead of, hitting the snooze button and going back to sleep. That'll be a total waste of this energy. And what you manifest during these next 3.5 months, right? Mm-hmm. This summer solstice period will determine the rest of your year. Will determine the entire cycle of the Saturn story we're preparing to enter at the end of this year.
Capricorn.
But not only Saturn and Capricorn, because Saturn entering Capricorn is just the beginning.
Right. Yeah, and we're just getting a glimpse of what that's going to look like.
We haven't gotten the glimpse yet. Quite yet, because Saturn is still in Sagittarius and it's retrograding.
Pluto's there.
We're still dealing with our belief systems of what is even possible.
Right.
When we get to Saturn and Capricorn, it's like full on board.
Yeah, it's his home.
Yes. And Saturn and Capricorn, just being in Capricorn is not the end of it. It will conjunct Pluto in 2019, but Saturn will go into Aquarius, Saturn will go into Pisces. These are the last stages of the entire zodiac. This is clearing out the past. This is clearing out the collective inertia of the past, right? So that we can build a new world, build a new foundation, enter the Aquarian age. Woo-woo. So this is bigger than all of us, but we're preparing for it, right?
Yeah.
Because how can you expect to create a collective full of brilliant, amazing, genius individuals, right? Without there being an individual. And so, to create the individual, creating the genius, creating the creator, is the summer solstice. Because the North Node is in Leo. And before we can expand that collectively in Aquarius, right? We're racing what we believe Aquarius has always been with the South Node in Aquarius. And, what we've always collectively believed Aquarius to be is, charities, institutions,
all those humanitarian
democracy, but we're changing our definition of what democracy even is, what liberal freedom is, what individuals within the collective are, what humanitarianism is, because we cannot have authentic humanitarianism if there is no heart behind it, if there is no love behind it. And we have been lacking in love for many, many, many years.
It's been about greed.
Yes. It's been think of the negative characteristics of Leo.
Yeah.
It's been about not pouring out love like the sun unconditionally onto everything around you, but about the expansion of your egocentricity, of your who you believe you think you are. You need the audience to validate you. We've always needed validation for who we are. We've always needed love from outside of everything, from outside of ourselves, right? From everything and everybody to validate our existence here. This is the negative archetype of Leo. And we're fixing that now because we're realizing that it will never be shown otherwise, shown in the collective through the Aquarian age without there being heart at the center of it. And so this summer solstice period is all about the formation of our heart, the formation of our soul, the formation of our individuality, and allowing it to take us into new territory.
Absolutely. Discovering new ways of expression. He's all passionate about it.
Yes.
Discovering new ways of expression.
Finding our own way of expressing.
Yeah, and defining your own values. I think that this is a process of individuation. So it's just honing in on what you find valuable
for yourself. There's bugs all over me. There is. Ew. Okay. They're not on me. They was on me. I just smeared it. Look, see these bug juices? I don't need to see that.
But okay. So Mars is in Cancer, will be squaring Jupiter. Jupiter will be squaring Juno exactly on the summer solstice as well. Juno is retrograding in Capricorn.
Chiron's going retrograde soon, right?
I said Juno, right? Juno.
Yeah, you said Juno.
Yeah. Okay. So Jupiter is in Libra. It just went direct. Yes, Juno's in Capricorn. Did you just ask me that?
No, I asked you if Chiron was getting ready to go retrograde soon here.
Yes, it will actually go retrograde on the last day of June.
Oh, that's coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and Mars is in trine the Neptune retrograde and slightly making a loose opposition to Pluto. So, as this is the marker of the entire summer solstice, right? A lot of this will have to do with our relationships, have to do with the structures we've built in our relationships, and needing to create an emotional foundation for new relationships. Because Jupiter is in square to not only Mars in Cancer, but Juno in Capricorn retrograde. So, breaking the paradigm of everything we've believed relationships to be, needing to create an entirely new foundation. And it's based on equality, justice, harmony, love, balancing multiple perspectives and allowing them to come together, because this is Libra, right? The mirror. Mm-hmm. And if we do not know who we are and we're constantly searching for it in the other, right?
Yeah.
What you're going to see is everything that's always been, which is not fulfilling. What you're going to see is your own limiting beliefs, your own limiting fears, and your own limiting barriers reflected back to you. And on the opposite side of that scale, you can see your dreams, you can see your grand vision, you can see an entirely new adventure that you never believed was possible manifesting in front of you. But it has to come from within and without, right? Because Mars is in Cancer. Mars is in Cancer. So you have to follow your own dreams before you can see the dream reflected back to you, of course, and before you can expect another person to fulfill it.
Well, you don't want to expect anybody to fulfill your dreams for you.
No.
But yeah, this is all about living in the heart right now. Living in the heart. And just being okay. Just being okay with what comes up in your heart. You know, because there's a lot of things we're still kind of clearing out. I mean, you got to think about the years of conditioning and years of programming ways that we've been doing stuff. So nothing's going to occur overnight. So you don't want to beat yourself up too much about, oh, I should be here at this state right now, or at this stage in my life right now. But just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward and stay in your heart. That's what's important.
And the desire to want to be somewhere is your focus, right? Because you recognize that the circumstances that you're in do not fulfill you.
Hello.
And so how can you change that? How can you focus, Cancer, right? Focus inwards to create it, to fulfill yourself, to build the foundation for what you ultimately want to create. And relationships will help with that because Jupiter is direct now.
Yeah.
And at the end of this cycle, by September 6th, I believe I talked about this in the new moon video, but Jupiter will come out of shadow, 23 degrees, I believe, on September 6th.
You did talk about that.
Yes. And there will be a window period from September 6th through October 10th, which in between that time we'll enter the autumn equinox, which will be an entirely new story, feeding off of this one. Yeah. But between that time will be a huge relationship cycle going on, right? An entirely new one. And whatever comes in that time is going to be life-changing, basically. Because at the same time, in between that period, there will be a full moon in Aries with the sun in Libra, right?
When is this?
Sometime in September.
Oh,
It'll be
the full moon in Aries?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And when the sun is in Libra, so it'll be during the autumn equinox.
Right.
But at that same time, Venus will be conjuncting Mars. And whenever Venus and Mars meet up, this is when masculine and feminine energies meet up.
It's good stuff.
And right after that, Jupiter will enter Scorpio. So,
woo woo! I'm just kidding.
This is preparing us for a sacred form of union that we've never seen before in our history, because we've never been able to cultivate the love and the mastery of self within. Right? And based on our doing so during this summer solstice, we will be able to cultivate relationships we've never seen before.
Right. Why is that?
This is because, also with the South Node in Aquarius, right? It has to deal with groups. It has to deal with relationships between yourself and others, between yourself and society, right? And one-on-one relationships have a lot to do with that. And with the South Node there, this is eradicating our old ways of perceiving the way we interact, because we realize it's never been based in the heart.
Exactly.
Because our heart has been distorted. The Leo negative archetype, right? It's been based on the need for validation from the other versus true love for the other. Right. It's been based on the projection of the self on the other versus seeing the other for who they are and loving them in that space. It's been based on egocentricity versus
authenticity.
Yes. And sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing of your light and your love and yourself.
Just being transparent. And I think
Yes.
that's a lot of what we're going to experience with Jupiter and Scorpio.
Well, yes, and it will be a lot of you want to get right within yourself. You want to get balance within yourself before that time, because if you do not, a lot of sexual trauma can come up where you've been traumatized cellularly regarding the area of intimacy and sex, right? And so
Which is the most powerful form of merging for us on this planet.
And with it, in a fixed sign, Scorpio, the fixed sign, right? And the North Node in Leo and the South Node in Aquarius. And next year, when Uranus goes into Taurus, we will have all of the fixed signs activated.
Right?
And next year, there will be a Mars retrograde in Aquarius, and there will be a Venus retrograde in Scorpio. So, and it will come over these points. It will come over the nodal axis. It will, it will make a square to it, and Uranus will too. So, we're just beginning the story, right? It's going to become super, super, super intense, and we're only seeing glimpses of it now.
Well, we can feel it like brewing. We can feel it brewing.
So this is definitely the preparation of the self, and whatever you cultivate during the
You're good.
Whatever you cultivate during this next 3.5 month period, will determine the next decade of your life.
I know, right?
Especially with the total solar eclipse in Leo, because this is everything we're working towards, right? The cultivation of the self, the mastery of the self, and bringing love back online, bringing the light body back online.
Yeah.
And allowing it to permeate throughout every department of our existence here on this planet.
Physical experience, absolutely.
Yes. And everything that you've ever dreamed about is on the other side of this transformative process. So, okay. So.
It's exciting times, guys.
Uranus will be also conjuncting Pallas Athena, the asteroid, adding to this grand fire trine. So, Uranus, you know, the planet of innovation, genius, revelation, downloading from the cosmic universe, right? Mixed with Pallas Athena, the goddess of strategy and creative visualization and creative intelligence, right? This is major breakthroughs, right? Do you have anything to say?
I just think it's about doing things in completely differently. Ways that you probably haven't even thought about. So,
but you'll receive them.
Yeah, you definitely will be downloaded into. Absolutely.
But with Saturn and Neptune in retrograde, especially Saturn though, because it's part of this grand fire trine. The work is up to you to be able to integrate it. So whatever you receive, just because you received it does not mean automatically, oh, I'm okay, you know? You have to integrate it within your life. You have to do the work. Saturn retrograde is saying do the work so that you may reap what you have sown when it goes direct.
Yeah, Saturn retrograde is really about going inward and taking a look at all the things that we have been like eluding ourselves to. I think there was a transit that happened between Saturn and Neptune, like where we were.
Ooh, that's another thing too. Is because Saturn and Neptune are communicating again. It's very loose. It is 10 degrees right now, but the closest aspect it'll make is 8 degrees. It will come into square again. So this is the opening of reality again, right? This is the bending of our structure. This is the bending of reality. This is opening the portal to be able to allow anything you want, anything you dream to be made possible, right? It's almost like you can break the rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it won't come any closer than 8 degrees, but it will be there in the background, right? And it will be activating the energy that began in November of 2015, because this is when Saturn and Neptune first began to square.
Yeah.
And so whatever was a dream back then, whatever had originated as what's the word? The vision.
Whenever ideologies came in.
Yes. That you were not basically able to manifest, because at the same time the North Node had just entered Virgo and the South Node had just entered Pisces, and so it went over the Saturn-Neptune square, right? It squared Saturn, and the South Node conjuncted Neptune. So this is where, you know, you have the vision, but are you able to manifest the vision based on, you know, all of your old wounds, all of your old karmic patterns, and needing to fix that, right? Needing to heal it, needing to build a solid structure to be able to manage your time, manage your energy without deluding yourself. Because when you are saying you want something, and when you are dreaming of what you want, and you're not actively
believing. Like if you don't even believe that you can have the things that you say.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely a delusion. Like, most people say they want $1 million, but they do not structure their life to be able to ever allow that to manifest. Right? A lot of people say that, but do you even believe you can do it? You're not even making, you know, half of that amount.
Right. So can you even believe that something like that could even be manifested into your reality? So not only with finances, but even with relationships. So it all kind of plays out the same way.
And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. And Venus made a square to Chiron this year too, as you can remember when it went retrograde.
Yes, it did.
And it activated this this paradigm in our relationships, activating where Saturn and Neptune squared, right? The higher octave of Venus. And now down to the minute detail of this relationship and this issue, right? This, even money as well, right? What we desire on a almost primitive level compared to Neptune. It was challenged, right? It was shaken up, and it was needing to be looked at, because we have to refine our dream. We have to realize that if we want to manifest anything, if we want to manifest our dreams, we have to set up our reality to be able to do so. We have to align every dimension to be able to allow it to concretize.
Every dimension within yourself. So this is why this is so much inner work. This is a lot of inner processing.
Because if you have this the spiritual, you know, yearning for something, but your astral body isn't right, your emotional body, right, your mental body is completely sabotaging everything that you do, because you're constantly thinking, oh, I'm gonna fail, you know, oh, I'll never be good enough, you know. And this filters down. Every dimension of your being communicates with each other. And so if you're having these thoughts, it's going to reflect in your emotional body, it's going to reflect in your physical body through your health, through your reality, through your finances, through your relationships, and ultimately your connection to the God force within yourself.
Absolutely. Thoughts create reality. That's what they say.
Yes.
So you want to be mindful of the conversation you're having with yourself. And when you are in that negative state, you have to do the work. You have to. There's no sugarcoating around it. There's no magical pill or magical alcohol or nothing is going to
and with Neptune retrograde, some people will return to this Some people will, because their only spiritual sustenance. Because Neptune retrograde is requiring you to find your own spiritual center, right? And if you have none, if your spiritual center is alcohol, if it is drugs, if it is codependent relationships, then this is what you will fall back into, right? But you're being asked. You're
going to be learning something.
Asked to build this spiritual foundation so that you can create from this spot and allow anything to manifest. The highest vibration of what you want to manifest, right?
Right.
Because otherwise, it'll just be a year like any other.
I really feel like that Neptune-Jupiter transit is really kind of like
the quincunx.
Yeah, it's really about aligning with the fact that, you know, we're ready. We're ready for a spiritual connection, a much more deeper spiritual connection, and we can't. It's something that we just can't shake it, and no matter how we try to redefine it or whatever, that's exactly what it is: connection.
Yes,
people are starving for it right now.
Yes, and ironically enough, during the summer solstice, Venus is in Taurus, right? And it is making a sextile to Neptune, its higher octave planet. And both of these planets are in quincunx to Jupiter, which has just gone direct. And Jupiter's in Libra, ruling Venus, and Venus is in Taurus in its domicile sign. And Neptune is in Pisces, its domicile sign. And all of this happening with the quincunx between Jupiter, Neptune, and Venus, right? It's making a finger of God.
Yeah, it's intense.
And a finger of God means that this area needs to be heavily focused on.
Looked at. Yeah, absolutely.
And this all has to do with relationships. All has to do with the alignment between relationships, concrete 3D reality of relationships, and the spiritual nature of it. And what comes in between that is the balance and the harmony between the two.
Absolutely. So to be in harmony, to be in flow with another individual, I think that what's most important right now is to be in harmony and be in balance with thyself. So the outer reflects the inner, right? That's how it goes? Yeah. So you just really want to be okay with doing the inner work.
Yes, and that was a sign. Sign from the yes. That's awesome. I don't know what kind of bird that was. I don't know. It didn't even sound like a bird. It sounded like a horn. But it's up there though. It's creepy. Okay. So anyway. So
this is the summer solstice, you guys, and this summer solstice will have an effect for years, perhaps even decades to come, because this Leo energy has been so misused for so very long. Both Leo and Aquarius, and as well as all the fixed signs, right? All of the fixed signs have been misused for millennia.
Yeah.
And we're being asked to rise out of that, to awaken from that collective dream that we've been living in for millennia. So the ultimate challenge is to be patient with ourselves.
Yes.
Because we realize that we're carrying millions of years of evolution on top of our backs.
If you can be patient with yourself, you can be patient with others.
Of course, definitely.
You're going to need to, because there's going to be a lot of distractions. A lot of people are not going to be able to shift into this new energy that's being asked of us, and they will try to resist it. And the more they resist it, the more it will appear that people are going crazy.
And the thing is, the only thing that's going crazy is their perception of reality is shifting. And the thing is, their entire ego, their entire personality, their entire individual nature is built on this the survival of this structure, right? And as the structure crumbles, their personality disintegrates.
Right.
They don't know who they are anymore, and so they become everything and everybody and every opinion and every piece of advice, right? They have no center.
Yeah,
And
kind of crazy.
It's a very sad reality that most people choose to go down this route because we're not taught the basics of spiritual intelligence, right?
Well, you got to think about majority of the people on the planet. We need something to believe in. And if people have been living in this reality where we're believing in something outside of ourselves, then of course, if that comes crumbling down, it's chaos.
Yeah. And it's not just religion.
No.
It's science. It's business. It's government. It's school. It's parents. It's everything. Right? Everything that we believe is some solid structure. Right?
The Matrix, man.
Relationships, marriages, all that.
All that. Marriages, all that.
Children.
I know, the poor children. Oh my goodness.
Yes, the education system is undergoing some dramatic stuff. And
overdue. Very overdue.
A lot of this purging is coming out through people, unfortunately, going off and shooting up the schools as if that will somehow solve the problem.
It doesn't solve the problem.
No, it's a venting of their inner frustration towards the system, taking it out on the children, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's pent up energy. And it's nothing to judge. What it's going to do is
that's a negative manifestation too of Aquarius and Leo.
Oh yeah,
they rule the child, the inner child within all of us, and children themselves.
Yeah.
And
so a lot of childish behaviors.
Of course, yeah.
So I think that it's just really important during this time, especially during the summer, to just kind of stay grounded, stay centered within yourself. And stop watching the news. Stop, because all of that mainstream media is there to distract you from doing the inner work.
Because it's built off of the system that's already crumbling. And you don't want to be on the Titanic, right? Because the Titanic is going to crash and fall and go all the way to the bottom of the ocean, and we'll never see it ever again.
Which we needed to, though, because, it's time.
And we can create thousands of movies about it.
I know.
But that doesn't stop the reality that it's at the bottom of the ocean, right?
Yep.
And we're not living at the bottom of the ocean. We're living on Earth.
Yeah.
And we need to build our new ship. And this new ship is built on this new archetype of our heart, of the mastery of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And being able to share it and express it with the world. Go on.
I'm done. I don't have anything to say.
You do.
No.
Say what you have to say.
I don't have anything to say. That's it.
We're not leaving until you say something.
We're done. That was it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.
No, continue.
It's all good. I just haven't been on, so I was going to say something in relation to, coming back in July. I'll be back in July. I'll be more consistent and all that, but it's okay.
No, just say it right now and I'll crop it in. Mom.
No, it's going to look funny when you do it.
No, it won't. Just say it.
It will look funny.
Mom.
What?
Say it.
Oh, God, I don't know what to say. It's okay. Mom, just say it. It's okay. Say it. It's okay. Say it. Mom, go. Oh, my gosh.
So, what was I going to say? I don't even know. It left me.
You'll be back.
But yes,
you'll be back.
So, I just wanted to add, it's fun hanging out with my daughter. Everyone, this is my offspring. She's wonderful and amazing.
Okay,
yes.
okay, that's not what we're talking about.
But I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. I'm going to explain it in my next video. I have been absent because of the stuff that I'm going through, purging a lot. I have a lot of fourth house stuff, cleansing going on, let's just say. I'll be back in July, the beginning of July, with the shadow report for that month, and we'll dive deeper into what's going on, and I'll share a little bit more about what's going on with me as well. And that's about it. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, so she'll be back in July with the shadow reports, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful summer solstice of 2017 and have a wonderful decade to come as you are cultivating this energy. And we will see you all
Next time.
next time.